What if I told you that the corner office, the six-figure salary, the title on your business card, none of that is actually what you want? I spent nearly 18 years climbing the corporate ladder, sacrificing everything to get to the top, and I'm going to save you years of exhaustion, burnout, and feeling empty in the next 20 minutes. We all do this. We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I make partner. I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll finally feel successful when I'm running my own team. But here's the truth I wish someone had told me when I was 25 years old. Hi, I'm Lisa, and this is my story. So this is hard to admit, but I used to be obsessed with success. Like truly obsessed. I'm talking about checking my work emails at 2 a.m., skipping family dinners, canceling plans with friends because I had to finish one more presentation, one more pitch, one more deal. I was a marketing executive at a major firm in New York, and from the outside, I had it all together. Designer suits, expensive apartment, invitations to all the right events. But here's what nobody saw. I was miserable, absolutely miserable. It started when I was in college. I was always the overachiever, straight A's, internships, leadership positions. My parents were so proud, and that felt really good. My dad would brag about me to his friends. Lisa's going places. She's going to be somebody. And I internalized that. I thought being somebody meant having an impressive job title and making a lot of money. So I graduated, got hired at this prestigious marketing agency, and I was off to the races. 23 years old, entry-level position, and I was determined to climb faster than anyone else. I worked 70-hour weeks. I said yes to every project. I stayed later than my boss. I came in on weekends. And it worked. I got promoted within a year. But here's what happened. The promotion felt good for exactly 3 days. 3 days. And then I was already looking at the next level, thinking, okay, now I need to become senior account manager. That's when I'll really feel successful. That's when I'll prove myself. This went on for years. Promotion after promotion. Raise after raise, and each time the satisfaction lasted shorter and shorter. It was like chasing a high that kept getting weaker. I remember making director at 32, which was incredibly young for that position. And I cried in my car in the parking garage, not because I was happy, but because I felt nothing. Just emptiness and this crushing pressure of what's next? And here's where it gets really embarrassing. I also believed that nobody would respect me unless I looked a certain way. I thought that to be taken seriously in boardrooms full of men, I needed to be thin, polished, perfect. So on top of the 70-hour work weeks, I was obsessed with my appearance. I would skip meals during the day because I was too busy. And then I'd come home and eat nothing but a salad because I was terrified of gaining weight. I counted every calorie. I weighed myself twice a day. I had a full-length mirror in my office, and I would check my reflection constantly, adjusting my blazer, sucking in my stomach, making sure I looked successful. Because somewhere in my mind, I had convinced myself that successful women were thin, put together, always in control. I did eventually lose the weight. I got down to a size that I thought would make me feel confident and powerful. And you know what? For about 2 weeks, it felt great. People complimented me. I felt like I was finally becoming the version of myself I was supposed to be. But then the obsession just shifted. Now I was terrified of gaining it back. I was exercising for 2 hours a day, meal prepping every Sunday, declining dinner invitations because I couldn't trust myself around restaurant food. My entire life revolved around maintaining this image of success. the career, the body, the carefully curated Instagram feed that made it look like I had it all figured out. Meanwhile, I was lonely. I was so lonely. I had acquaintances, sure, colleagues I'd grab drinks with after work, networking contacts, but real friends? People I could be vulnerable with? I didn't have time for that. And relationships? Forget it. I went on dates, but I was always thinking about work, always distracted, always prioritizing the next client meeting over building something real with another person. I remember this one guy I dated for about 6 months. Really sweet, genuinely cared about me. He told me once, "Lisa, I feel like I'm competing with your job for your attention." And I brushed it off. I actually thought he was being dramatic. Looking back now, he was absolutely right. I was married to my career, and there was no room for anyone else. So here I was, at 36 years old, vice president of marketing, making more money than I ever imagined, living in a beautiful apartment, wearing designer clothes, and I was having panic attacks in bathroom stalls at work. Full-blown panic attacks where I couldn't breathe, couldn't think, just sat there shaking and wondering what the hell I was doing with my life. That's when something shifted. I started seeing a therapist, which, by the way, I resisted for years because I thought asking for help meant I was weak. But I finally went, and she asked me this question that changed everything. She said, "Lisa, if you woke up tomorrow and your job didn't exist, who would you be?" And I froze. I literally couldn't answer because I had built my entire identity around my career. I was my job title. I was my salary. I was my achievements. Take that away, and I didn't know who I was underneath. Around this same time, I started volunteering. My company had this corporate volunteer program that I'd ignored for years because I was too busy. But my therapist suggested I try it. So I signed up to mentor young women who were re-entering the workforce after incarceration. And this is where everything clicked for me. These women, they had been through so much, real hardship, real struggle. They'd made mistakes, served their time, and now they were trying to rebuild their lives from scratch. No fancy resumes, no connections, no safety net, just determination and hope. I met this one woman named Maria. She was 29, had 2 kids, and had just finished a 5-year sentence. She came to our mentoring session with this notebook where she'd written down every single question she had about finding work. How do I explain the gap in my resume? What do I wear to an interview if I can't afford a suit? How do I answer when they ask about my past? And as I sat there with her, helping her practice interview answers, something hit me. Maria had more clarity about what mattered in life than I did. She wasn't chasing some arbitrary definition of success. She just wanted stability for her kids. She wanted to be present for them. She wanted to do honest work and feel proud of herself at the end of the day. She said something to me that I think about all the time now. She said, "Miss Lisa, I know I'm starting at the bottom, but that's okay. I'm not trying to be CEO. I just want to look my kids in the eye and show them their mama's doing her best." I went home that night and cried, really cried, because here I was with everything society told me I should want. And I was miserable. And here was Maria with every disadvantage imaginable. And she had something I didn't have. She knew what actually mattered. I kept volunteering, week after week, session after session. And I started noticing something. These women would celebrate the smallest victories, getting a call back for an interview, finding affordable childcare, learning a new skill. They appreciated things I took for granted. They found joy in progress, not just in achievement. Meanwhile, I was still going through the motions at work, but my heart wasn't in it anymore. I started asking myself hard questions. Why am I doing this? Who am I trying to impress? What do I actually want? And the answers were uncomfortable. I was doing it because I thought success would make me feel worthy. I was trying to impress people who didn't actually care about me. I wanted to feel like I mattered, like I was enough. And here's what I realized. And this is the big lesson I want to share with you. Everything I was chasing externally was actually an internal job. I wanted to feel worthy. I could give myself that permission right now. I wanted to feel respected. I could respect myself right now. I wanted to feel successful. I could redefine what success meant to me right now. Nobody was stopping me except me. I started making changes, small at first. I stopped checking work email after 7 p.m. I started saying no to projects that didn't align with what I actually cared about. I joined a book club, an actual book club with real people, where we talked about things other than work. I reconnected with old friends I'd neglected. And the body image thing, that took longer to unravel, because that obsession runs deep. You know, I'm 41 now, and I still have moments where I look in the mirror and pick myself apart. But I've learned to catch those thoughts and redirect them. Instead of, I need to lose weight to be successful, I think, my body carries me through life, and I'm grateful for it. I actually gained some weight back when I stopped being so restrictive with food. And you know what? Nobody at work said a word. Because nobody cared as much as I thought they did. The only person obsessed with my appearance was me. I also started doing something radical. I started asking myself, what do I actually enjoy doing? Not what looks good on LinkedIn. Not what impresses people at dinner parties. What brings me genuine joy? And the answer surprised me. I loved the mentoring work. I loved helping these women see their own potential. I loved watching them get their first jobs, their first promotions, their first moments of, I can do this. So I made a decision that would have terrified my 25-year-old self. I left the VP position. I took a massive pay cut to work at a nonprofit that helps formerly incarcerated people with job training and placement. My parents thought I'd lost my mind. My former colleagues definitely thought I was having some kind of breakdown. You worked so hard to get there, and you're just walking away. Yeah, I was. Because I finally understood that the ladder I'd been climbing was leaning against the wrong wall. Here's what nobody tells you about success. And I mean real success, not the Instagram version. It's not about the title, or the salary, or the corner office. Those things are nice, don't get me wrong, but they're not what makes you happy. They're not what makes you feel fulfilled. What makes you happy is living in alignment with your values. It's doing work that matters to you. It's having people in your life who see you, really see you, and love you for who you are, not what you achieve. I learned this from the women I work with now. I have this participant in our program. She's 52, and she just got her first job in 15 years. She's working at a grocery store, stocking shelves. And she came into our office last week with the biggest smile on her face. She said, "Lisa, I got my first paycheck. I took my granddaughter to the movies. We shared popcorn. That was the best day of my life. The best day of her life, not because she became a CEO or bought a luxury car, because she got to share popcorn with her granddaughter." And I thought, when was the last time I felt that kind of pure joy? When was the last time I was present enough to appreciate a simple moment? That's what I've learned. That's what took me 18 years and a lot of suffering to understand. We're not actually chasing success or the perfect body or the impressive career. We're chasing a feeling. We're chasing worthiness, belonging, love, peace, And here's the beautiful, frustrating truth. You can give yourself those feelings right now. You don't need to wait until you get the promotion. You don't need to wait until you lose the weight. You don't need to wait until everything is perfect. You are worthy right now, exactly as you are, with all your flaws and mistakes and imperfections. You belong right now. You are enough right now. I know it sounds simple, maybe even too simple, but I'm telling you, this is it. This is the secret that successful people don't want you to know, because if you figured it out, you'd stop buying what they're selling. The journey is the destination. Every single day is the destination, not some future version of your life where everything falls into place. Right here, right now, this moment, this is it. So what are you waiting for? What permission are you waiting for to start living your life on your terms? You want to feel confident? Start treating yourself with respect today. You want to feel loved? Practice loving yourself today. You want to feel successful? Redefine success based on what actually matters to you, not what society tells you should matter. I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow or burn your life down. I'm saying check in with yourself. Ask the hard questions. Am I doing this because I want to, or because I think I should? Am I building a life I actually want to live, or a life that looks good from the outside? Because I can tell you from experience, the Instagram perfect life is exhausting and empty. The real life, the messy, imperfect, authentic life, that's where the joy is. I wake up now, and I don't immediately check my phone. I make coffee, I sit by the window, I watch the sunrise, and I feel grateful, genuinely grateful, not for what I've achieved, or what I look like, or how much money I make. Grateful that I get another day to be here, to do work that matters, to connect with people I care about. That's success. That's what I was actually looking for all along. So if you're watching this and you're in your 20s, your 30s, climbing that ladder, chasing that next achievement, I'm not here to tell you to stop. Ambition isn't bad. Goals aren't bad. But I am here to tell you to check your why. Check your motivation. Make sure you're building a life you actually want, not a life you think you're supposed to want. And if you're watching this and you're already burnt out, already exhausted, already wondering, is this all there is? I see you. I've been you. And I'm here to tell you, it's not too late to change course. It's never too late. You are not your job title. You are not your bank account. You are not your body. You are not your achievements. You are so much more than that. You're a whole, complete, worthy human being right now, in this moment. Give yourself permission to believe that. Give yourself permission to live like you believe that. Because life is short. Life is so short. And you don't want to wake up at 50 or 60 or 70 and realize you spent your whole life chasing things that didn't actually matter. The people I work with now, they've taught me this. They've lost years of their lives. They've lost opportunities, relationships, precious time with their kids. And what they want now is so simple. They want to be present. They want to contribute. They want to matter to someone. You already matter. You already have value. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. If my story touched you in any way, if something I said resonated with you, or gave you a moment of clarity, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe. Not for me, but because maybe, just maybe, someone else needs to hear this too. Someone else is sitting at their desk at 2 a.m., wondering if this is all there is. And your subscription helps stories like mine reach them. Leave a comment if you'd like. Tell me what you're chasing. Tell me what you think will finally make you happy. I read every single one, and I promise you, You're not alone in this. Thank you for letting me share my story with you. Thank you for being here, for listening, for being open to a different way of seeing things. Much love. I'll see you in the next story.